Mr. President.
The senator from Texas.
Mr. President, our country does many things well, but our government in Washington often fails the people that it exists to protect. One of the best examples is the Obama administration's failure to enforce our nation's immigration laws, despite the American people's continued demand that the federal government follow its duty to do so. It's worth noting that just yesterday, the voters of San Francisco voted to replace the sheriff who had defended the city's sanctuary city policy. That is a striking statement of where the American people are on this issue. Unfortunately, the Democrats in the nation's capital refuse to listen to the American people. Just 2 weeks ago, Senate Democrats blocked a bill that would have imposed a 5-year mandatory minimum sentence on criminal aliens who have illegally re-entered the country. Well, this issue is too important to give up on. And this fight is far from over. That is why I intend to call up Kate's Law for its urgent and immediate passage in the United States Senate. This bill is named in honor of Kate Steinle, who died tragically in the arms of her father on a San Francisco pier after being fatally shot by an illegal alien who had been deported from the United States multiple times. When it comes to stopping sanctuary cities and protecting our safety, we need governing, we need leadership, we need elected officials in Washington to listen to the people that we are elected to represent. We need to actually fix the problem. Enough hot air. Let's demonstrate we can come together and solve this problem. This ought to be a clear choice. With whom do you stand? Do you stand with violent, criminal, illegal aliens? Or do you stand with American citizens? Do you stand with our sons and daughters and those at risk of violent crime? I hope that my colleagues in the Senate will come together and stand in bipartisan support that we stand with the American people. And I will note that Bill O'Reilly has been tremendous, calling over and over again on leaders of this body simply to pass Kate's Law. This is not a partisan issue, at least it shouldn't be. We should stand with American citizens. I'm reminded of the heartbreaking words of Kate Steinle. As she lay at her father's arms, she simply said, "Dad, help me." Well, we have an opportunity here to determine if we're willing to listen to her dying words, if we're willing to stand with her. And I would note, by the way, this shouldn't be a red state, blue state issue. For the people of San Francisco to throw out of office the sheriff responsible for the policies that led directly to Kate Steinle's murder indicates that even in the bluest of blue cities and the bluest of blue states, the American people are tired of politicians standing with violent, criminal, illegal aliens. This should bring us together. We should stand together and say, we will protect the American citizens. And I'll tell you, the Obama administration's record on this is shocking. In 2013, the Obama administration released from detention roughly 36,000 convicted criminal aliens who were awaiting the outcomes of deportation proceedings. These criminal aliens were responsible for 193 homicide convictions. They were responsible for 426 sexual assault convictions. They were responsible for 303 kidnapping convictions. They were responsible for 1,075 aggravated assault convictions. They were responsible for 16,070 drunk driving convictions. On top of that, the Obama administration had another 68,000 illegal immigrants with criminal convictions that the federal government encountered but never even bothered to take into custody for deportation. That is over 104,000 criminal illegal aliens that the Obama administration is responsible for releasing to the public. I asked my friends on the Democratic side of the aisle how you look in the eyes of a father or mother who's lost their loved one because of a violent criminal illegal alien that has murdered, that has raped, that has assaulted, that has kidnapped, that has brutalized. your child. We are responsible for the consequences of our action. Kate's Law is common sense legislation. It is legislation that says if a criminal illegal alien who is an aggravated felon, who is the worst of the worst, illegally re-enters this country, comes in a second time, that criminal illegal alien will face a mandatory minimum of 5 years in prison. If Kate's Law had been passed 5 years ago, Kate Steinle would still be alive. And that means every Democrat that stands up and blocks Kate's Law need to be prepared to explain why standing with violent criminal illegal aliens is more important than protecting American citizens. You know, I'm proud to have joining me as co-sponsors of Kate's Law, Senator Grassley, Senator Vitter, Senator Rubio, and Senator Perdue, all coming together in what should be bipartisan leadership to protect the American citizens. Accordingly, I ask unanimous consent that the Senate proceed to the immediate consideration of S-2193. Further, that the bill be read a third time and passed, and that the motion to reconsider be made and laid upon the table with no intervening action or debate.